Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock here, your Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you for another free tutorial. And tonight we're going to be working with the Labeled with Love bundle. So this is one of the new bundles in the catalog. It's on page 58. And what I like about this bundle is that you could choose to either get it with the 3 dies or with the punch. It's either or. So I opted for the dies this go around, but I'm thinking I may want to go back and get the punch. But we'll see. But let me show you what we're going to work on tonight. I have 2 cards for you. One is very simple. It's really nothing more than stamps, inks, and paper. And I actually created these for a color challenge that I was in. It's for the month of May. It's called A Card a Day. And today's challenge was color combination, and it was Azure Afternoon, Petunia Pop, Lemon Lime Twist, and Daffodil Delight. And you had to use those 4 colors to create your card. So I kind of incorporated them in this little birthday card here. So, pretty simple. It's got a thick basic white base. And then we stepped it up and we did a little bit of the die cutting and some embossing. We used that beautiful exposed brick embossing folder to create our second card. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first card, we have a thick basic white card base. It's a standard A2. It's 8.5 by 5.5. We've scored it at 4.25. Then I have 3 pieces of the cardstock. I have the Petunia Pop, Lemon Lime Twist, and Daffodil Delight. And these are all 4 by 3 3/4. I'm sorry, 4 by 1 3/4. I apologize for that. 4 by 1 3/4. And then we've got 3 pieces of basic white. And these are 3 3/4 by 1.5. And this is what we're going to use to create our card. So again, this is going to be very simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to stamp everything in our Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, the birthday presents, and the outline of the butterflies. There are 2 butterfly stamps. One is sort of like the outline with all the detail work, and the second one is sort of the solid fill-in stamp. So we're going to stamp this one, the outline detailed butterfly, in our Azure Afternoon. So let's stamp I'm going to go happy birthday first. I'm going to try to put that right in the middle. Okay, making sure I'm in camera. All right, and then we're just going to go here. I'm going to stamp just some presents on each side. Just kind of a fun, colorful birthday card. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to come in here with our butterfly, and I wanted to have a piece of, I wanted a piece of scrap paper because I am going to stamp off my cardstock. And although I can stamp on the glass mat, then the ink just kind of sits on top of the mat. So I'd have to wipe it off, and I'd just rather just have the white there, the scrap paper there, to just kind of catch any ink that may be coming. Okay. All right. And we're just going to stamp 3 butterflies on each one. Doesn't really matter how you put them on there. You want them to all be like going in different directions and on the paper, off the paper. So just however you want to put them on. Okay, so now we've got our balmy blue. That's all the stamping we're going to do with our balmy blue. And I'm just going to take one of the next 3 colors, and we're going to stamp the solid butterfly stamp, one on each of these. So again, it doesn't really matter where which ones you pick, because you can just alternate where they are. And I think that one was off. Let me move that up. Sorry about that. So I did that one in that right bottom left corner. All right, let's close that up. Let us clean our stamp. All right, because we're gonna go to a different ink color. All right, next we have our Petunia Pop. All right, and we'll do, let's see, maybe we'll do our Petunia Pop here. And then we'll do our Petunia Pop up here. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to have our lemon lime twist. All right. So you can see this is pretty easy, but it's a very colorful card. You know, maybe not suitable for guys so much, you know, but like women, young, you know, young teenagers, young kids, anybody who likes butterflies, really. Okay, so now we've got that. All right, so that's it for our stamping. Let's go ahead and start assembling the pieces of our card. All right. So I just kind of went like from light to dark, kind of like in the rainbow colors. So I went orange, green, berry, kind of like a purpley petunia pop. I'm going to put the happy birthday in the middle, and then I'm going to put the two butterflies panels, one on each of these. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and layer those up. Again, it helps if you take the top off your tape runner. Works better without the cover on it. All right. So again, this is, like I said, a pretty simple card. This is really just nothing more than stamps, inks, and paper. So, you know, you don't need a lot, and sometimes this is a little tiny bit crooked, and it's going to drive me a little crazy. The only problem with Stampin' Seal Plus is it's not very forgiving, but I guess we're just going to leave it like that because I can't really fix that. I'll try to be more careful on the next one. All right. Usually I'm pretty good with doing it straight, but every once in a while it gets the best of me. Okay, let's see. Probably because I'm doing it live right now, so you know. Okay, yeah, we're just going to be off on all of them tonight, so we're just going to tell everybody that's how we planned it. I have my sweater on because my husband likes it very cold in the house, and I don't like it quite as cold. So, and of course, the basement is always colder than the rest of the house. So, when I come down here to work, I usually have to like put on a sweater and my slippers or something so I can stay warm. Okay, so those are our three pieces. Now we're going to layer these onto our card front. Again, pretty easy. If you're catching this on replay, let me know where you're watching from. I like to know where everybody kind of tunes in from. I think it's so neat how, you know, we can have people really from around the world just, you know, checking out the video. So kind of fun. Okay. So now we're just going to go ahead and start just putting these on here. Okay, and these cardstocks are going to butt right up against one another. There will not be any space in between the colored cardstock. So don't worry about leaving any space. They were cut specifically to really just kind of butt right up against one another. Okay. Right. And how pretty are those? I love these colors together. So sometimes it's fun to do like something outside your comfort zone, like a color challenge, because you know, you might put stuff together that you might normally not use together. And it's kind of fun to see how it works out. So I'm just going to bling these out by putting a small rhinestone at each of the butterfly heads. Because, you know, you got to have a little bit of bling on there. But we don't want so much that, you know, the card's going to be over the top. You have little pearls. You can use little pearls, whatever you want. I just wanted to use. This is the stamps that I'm featuring for my June workshop too, the Labeled with Love. So that's card number 1. But how pretty is that? Again, just very simple. Nothing but stamps, inks, and paper. But it's just that color combination that really kind of makes that card pop. Let me know what you think if you like this one. The next one, we're going to get a little bit more involved, and we're going to, I have to find out where I put my stuff. Sorry about that. So we're going to take, now I got the dies. I bought the dies, and they come with a set of 3. Now I thought when I bought them, I thought these were all attached, like it was one piece, but they're not. There are 3 separate dies. So we want to place them on this piece of Petunia Pop. This is a standard 5 1/4 by 4 inch um, um, piece. I can't like talk and get stuff at the same time. I'm just not quite that talented. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to make my sandwich first, right? Okay, I'm going to put this piece down like that. I think it might be time for some new plates. Now I want to layer my dies up. So I'm going to kind of, before I do anything, I'm going to just kind of put them down to make sure that I kind of have them where I want them. Okay, because we only got one shot at doing this. Okay, so that's got to come a little bit more this way. Okay, and again, you can just, there's not an exact science to any of this. It's just, I eyeball a lot of stuff just to make sure that it looks okay. Now I've got this 3M tape here because what I want to do is, it's like a Post-it note tape. And I just kind of want to come and I want to hold these in place. I'm just going to kind of come and put that just like that, just to kind of hold the dies where I want them so they don't slip and slide as I put them through my stamp, cut, and emboss. Okay, let's raise this just a little bit because we're awfully close. All right. So, and I apologize ahead. This table is going to shake a little bit as I run this through. Oh, you know what? I forgot the second. I forgot plate number 2. I had it over here and I just totally forgot it. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Because I'm using the dies. I need that. I need plates 1, 2, and 3 when you're doing the dies. All right. Okay. All right. Let's just take this out of the way for a minute. We're going to use that again in just a minute. Okay, now let's take off. So how is that? Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. I have these extra pieces to use. They're still attached to my tape. I'll take those off after. Now, I didn't like this piece just being flat, so I came through with the exposed brick embossing folder, and we're going to emboss this with our exposed brick embossing folder just to give this a little bit more interest and dimension. It's amazing how much just making an embossed piece, how much that changes the card. It just elevates it to the next level. Okay, so if you have embossing folders, don't be afraid to try them. Just, try them and see what you think. You can always try the piece without embossing and then, like lay it all out. And if you don't like it, try embossing a piece and see what happens. So now we've got this great like detail, like the exposed brick detail on this piece. I don't know if you could see that on this piece of paper, but I think I love that. So that's one of my favorite embossing folders. So I'm glad that it is still here. Okay, now with my embossed pieces, I always use a little bit of liquid glue because I find that sometimes the Stampin' seal will rip on the embossed surfaces. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue. Oh. But you know what I forgot to do? And I'm going to do it before I put this down because, okay, here's what I forgot to do. I have another piece of our basic white that is the same size. It is 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to lay these two pieces together, right? And before I flip that over and lay it down, I want to stamp the stems of the flowers that are going to be in these little windows. So I'm just going to kind of hold that and stamp my flowers. Okay, all I need to do right now is this. Okay. So let's move this off to the side for a minute. I'll put a little bit more glue on that. Now, again, I'm going to come with our 3 colors, our Petunia Pop, our Lemon Lolly, and our balmy blue, and we are going to go ahead and stamp the flowers that go over or go in between these leaves. So I'm going to put the yellow in the middle because I have two pretty dark colors here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the yellow in the middle. Okay, sorry for my head in the way. Sometimes it's hard to see between the glare from the light and my glasses. It's hard for me to see exactly. But that looks pretty good. Okay. And lastly, we've got our Azure Afternoon. I just really love how these colors all played together. They really did come out, I think, very, very well. Good. It was a good combo. Okay. I just got to close these up because if I don't, I make a mess. All right. Here we go. Now we're ready. Let's add a little bit more of our glue. See? No matter how hard you try to be prepared and get everything right, somehow you always manage to muck it up just a bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and add this now to our front. Okay. And just make sure before I stick it all down, I want to make sure that I get it all even. Okay, that looks pretty good. We've got that done. All right, we're going to go ahead and add this to our card front. My hands are sticky now. I was looking for this. Now, because this basic white piece is not embossed, so I can go ahead and just use my Stampin' seal on here. All right. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to add a little sentiment label. So I've got this strip of, it's like a scrap piece. It's probably a 1/2 inch wide, and we're going to stamp thanks friend. So, and I think I'm going to stamp it in the lemon lime twist because why not? Okay, so I'm going to kind of stamp it not too close to the edge, because what I want to do is I want to flag the ends. So I'm going to take my paper snips. Okay, and trim this just a tad. Okay, I'm going to make a little snip in the center. Okay, and I'm going to come up from the side to that center snip. Okay, and that's how you can flag the ends. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, going to eyeball it. Okay, let's get these out of our way. Okay, again, I'm going to make just a little snip in the middle. Okay, and then we're going to go from the end to that little cut and do the same thing on the other side. Now we've got our little flag. Okay, I'm going to pop that up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I thought I had some. I thought I had my white twine over here, but I think perhaps I might have put it away. So what you can do is you can add a little bow, but we're going to add our little thanks friend just in the middle. And again, I'm going to bling it out. And in each of these, the bigger flowers, we are going to put a little tiny rhinestone right in the center of the 3 big flowers on each one. So that's just going to kind of bling this out just a bit. Okay, and like I said, this is the bundle that I'm using for my June workshop. My workshop registration is now open. You're going to get a 1/2 pack of designer series paper, a package of gems, and a bolt of ribbon, along with the kits to make 8 cards. And then you can either do it on Zoom, via Zoom on a Friday night, or have in-person classes on Saturday. So it's your choice to either come to the studio or do it on Zoom. But that's what you get. You get a kit with everything you need. And then we just put the cards together and you get a written tutorial. So that's it. I don't know where I had my white twine, but if you looked on my sample, I just tied my white twine in a double bow and just added it to my little label. So that's another option that you can do. So that is it for me tonight. I hope that you liked these cards. Like I said, these were colors that I probably normally would not have put together, but for the color challenge, and I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this color. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done that. I'm so grateful to everyone who subscribes. And later on, there'll be a link to sign up for my email. So if you'd like to get free tutorials and more tips and tricks, please be sure to sign up for my emails. That's it for me. Have a great evening. I will see you all next week. Enjoy your weekend. Happy stamping.